Greetings, slackers. It is June the 12th, 2017, and I'm over here on CNN.com with an article that follows up to an article that I previously did about this girl. The girlfriend's text push teen to take his own life by Brendan Griggs, Ray Sanchez, and Letitia Lance. And it says here, in Taunton, Massachusetts, on the last day of Conrad Roy III's young life, the text message popped up on his phone, one after another. Quote, "You need to do it, Conrad." Quote, "You can't think about it. You just have to do it." The sender of the messages, authorities say, was his 17-year-old girlfriend, Michelle Carter. The "it" was suicide. Prosecutors argue that the texts are overwhelming evidence that while Carter played the role of a loving girlfriend, she was secretly urging Roy to kill himself. The next day, in July 2014, Roy's body was found slumped in his black Ford F-150, dead from carbon monoxide poisoning. He was 18. Carter, now 20, is on trial this week on involuntary manslaughter charges. When Roy had second thoughts, she told him to get back in the truck and listen on the phone while he cried out in pain and took his last breaths as his pickup truck filled with deadly gas. Assistant District Attorney Mary Claire Flynn said Tuesday. Quote, "She mocked him when he chose to delay his death," Flynn said in her opening statement before Bristol County Juvenile Court Judge Lawrence Moniz, who will decide the case. Quote, "She put him in the car that night." Suicide, not homicide, defense says. But Carter's attorney, Joseph Cataldo, painted a starkly different version of events, describing Roy deeply depressed over the divorce of his parents and a victim of physical and emotional abuse, who was on a, quote, "path to take his own life for years." "This is a suicide case," he said, "not a homicide." Cataldo noted that Young's manned extensive online searches about suicide methods, Carter's attempts to get him to seek help, and her own bouts with mental issues. Quote, "It was his choice," Cataldo told the judge in his opening statement. "She didn't cause his death." A groundbreaking case. Is it a crime to tell someone to commit suicide? Boston defense attorney Peter Elican told CNN affiliate WFXT that lawyers and legal scholars are watching the trial closely because it could set a legal precedent. Quote, "At the moment, there's really no law in the books in Massachusetts about whether somebody can encourage somebody to commit suicide or not," he said. Carter, now 20, is being tried as a youthful offender because she was a minor when her alleged crime took place. She waived her right to a jury trial, meaning her case will be decided by Judge Moniz, who will render a verdict after testimony is over. Asked whether Carter will testify, Cataldo said, quote, "No comment." Roy's death. Roy was found dead July 13, 2014 in his truck in a Kmart parking lot in Fairhaven, nearly 40 miles from his home. He was wearing a blue t-shirt, shorts, and sunglasses. A since-retired Fairhaven police officer testified Tuesday as Roy's relatives wept softly in the courtroom. A cell phone was found in the waistband of his shorts. A gasoline engine was in the back seat. It was no longer running. The day before, authorities say Carter had urged him to go through with his plan to commit suicide. Quote, "You're ready and prepared. All you have to do is turn the generator on and you will be free and happy," she wrote, according to a document disseminated by the Bristol County District Attorney's Office. Quote, "No more pushing it off," she allegedly wrote. "No more waiting. He seemed fine." Conrad was a troubled youth who had tried to kill himself in 2012 by overdosing on Tylenol, his mother testified. But after he began taking medication and went to counseling, he seemed much better. Lynn Royce said he graduated from high school in 2014 and was making plans for the future, she said. Her son never talked about Carter, and she rarely saw them together, she said. On the day he died, she went to the beach with Conrad and his sisters. Roy testified he was laughing and joking about other people on the beach. He seemed fine, she said, although under cross-examination, She added that her son later seemed preoccupied. You fall asleep and die. In the months following Roy's death, Carter posted tributes to him on Facebook, calling him her angel. She also organized a charity softball tournament and raised $2,300, money for mental health awareness in his honor. But Carter insisted on holding the event in another town miles from Roy's friends and family, said Tom Gamel, who described himself as Roy's best friend. When he questioned her on the location of the tournament, she became upset and, quote, wanted to make clear that she was getting credit for organizing the event, Gamel testified Tuesday. He said he had never heard Michelle Carter's name before Roy's death. After police investigated the death, they found hundreds of text messages between Carter and Roy. In one, Carter allegedly counseled Roy on exactly how to commit suicide using carbon monoxide. Quote, if you emit 3,200 ppms of carbon monoxide for 5 to 10 minutes, you will die within a half an hour, she reportedly wrote. Quote, you lose consciousness with no pain. You fall asleep and die. Carter was indicted in February 2015. Her trial was delayed earlier this year at the request of the defense. Youthful offenders are tried in juvenile court, but the proceedings are public. Now, this is going to be a very interesting case because currently there are no laws on the books for assisting someone with a suicide, despite what has been in the news due to Dr. Jack Kevorkian, assisted suicide, that type of stuff back in the day. He physically helped, but to mentally persuade and verbally coerce someone into committing it, that's a whole different category of offense, which currently no laws are on the books for. The reason why I'm telling you this is because some of you out there, whether you're male or female, are dating someone, and it's a real shame to be in a relationship with someone who supports the worst in you. You should want to seek out people who bring out the best in you, who bring out, the part in you that shines, not play into your weaknesses and help you to be a weaker person. Yes, it is obvious that Roy here had a history of, wanting to commit suicide, but it didn't help him to have a girlfriend who, kind of psychologically nudged him over the edge. Although I don't think that she'll be found guilty in a court of law. I could be wrong on this because, hey, other legal scholars are looking at this to see which direction it goes in. It will be setting legal precedent. But as things are currently set up, I mean, the only thing that she can do is really get played in the court of public opinion as, being a bad partner and being the worst type of partner that's out there. But she did not help him in the sense of supplying him with the means to commit suicide other than what she had looked up online via information. So again, for those of you out there in relationships who are looking for a relationship with a partner, this is something that you'll want to think about as you go forward. Do you want a partner who's going to bring out the best in you, or do you want a partner who's going to help bring out the worst in you? That's something that you're going to have to decide, but that's my message for this video. Leave me some thoughts and comments down below. Hit that like button if you like this video. Subscribe to this channel if you thought this information was worth hearing. And as always, that's going to do it for this article and this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Did you enjoy this video and find it informative? Subscribe to the Slackers Method and click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to receive all the latest notifications for when I upload new videos.